Democrats are facing a daunting stretch as the party struggles to get beyond internal battles to win approval of President Biden's agenda, and deal with other crises that have effectively been punted to the Christmas season. Democrats are entering the home stretch of the year with four big priorities: funding the government, raising the debt ceiling, and passing both the bipartisan infrastructure bill and a sweeping social spending measure. It's a stretch that could make or break Biden's agenda and will surely set up battles for next year's midterm elections. The tensions between Democrats, including moderates versus progressives, the Senate versus the House, and moderates versus leadership, are increasingly boiling over. Sanders and progressives disagree with Manchin, Sinema, and House centrists over the measure's policy details and size. The bipartisan infrastructure bill already passed by the Senate, progressives say, won't move through the House without passage of the larger spending bill. But that's left moderates fuming. Democrats face tough choices if they have to lower the size of the bill, as is likely. Durbin, acknowledging that reality, urged Democrats to settle on a number. They had hoped to fund everything from combating climate change to immigration reform, as well as housing, childcare, education assistance, and a healthcare expansion. But as the top line slips, they'll need to think about investing heavily in a smaller number of programs or keeping their expansive wish list but taking more incremental approaches across the board. While Democratic leadership is aiming to have the bill to Biden by the end of October, senators acknowledge they aren't married to a timeline. Government funding is set to run out on December 3rd, setting a hard deadline for lawmakers to prevent a shutdown heading into the holidays. Senate Majority Leader Charles Schumer, DNY, is doubling down on his pledge that Democrats won't use reconciliation, a budget process that lets them bypass the 60-vote legislative filibuster, to pass a long-term debt hike later this year. The votes are tough politically for Democrats because they have to raise the debt ceiling to a number instead of suspending it to a date. While 11 Republicans helped Senate Democrats overcome a key procedural hurdle on the debt ceiling last week, they are vowing they won't do so again. The move, GOP senators argue, was designed to take pressure off changes to the filibuster and prove Democrats had time to raise the debt ceiling on their own under the budget rules. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, RK, who has faced criticism from his own members for proposing the short-term debt hike if Republicans don't blink, congressional Democrats will have limited options, and it could lead to pressure on Manchin and Sinema to create a carve-out from the legislative filibuster.